Have you ever looked up at the night sky, mesmerized by the countless twinkling stars, and wondered what it would be like to live amongst them? Well, for a select few, that dream becomes reality aboard the International Space Station, a marvel of human ingenuity orbiting Earth at 17,500 miles per hour. But keeping this scientific outpost running smoothly requires a constant stream of supplies and experiments. That's where the incredible CRS-30 mission comes in. Imagine a giant, reusable space freighter packed with everything astronauts need to thrive in space, from vital research equipment to fresh veggies, and even a giant inflatable pizza. Okay, maybe not the pizza, but you get the idea. That's essentially what a Cargo Dragon spacecraft is. Unlike its crewed cousin, Crew Dragon, these robotic workhorses are the unsung heroes of space exploration, silently carrying the essential cargo that fuels scientific discovery aboard the ISS. Fast forward to a crisp Thursday afternoon, March 21st, 2024. Launchpad 40 at Cape Canaveral crackles with anticipation. Atop the mighty Falcon 9 rocket sits our star Cargo Dragon C-209, prepped and packed for its 30th resupply mission to the ISS. The countdown begins, a slow and deliberate dance of checks and confirmations. The ground trembles as the engines ignite, a fiery roar tearing through the Florida sky. With a blinding flash, Falcon 9 streaks upwards, carrying C-209 on its incredible journey. The first few minutes are the most intense. Falcon 9 sheds its first stage with a fiery burst, gracefully returning to Earth for a picture-perfect landing. Meanwhile, C-209 continues its climb, slowly separating itself from the second stage before igniting its own engines. Over the next 2 days, the spacecraft performs a series of intricate maneuvers, a carefully choreographed ballet in the blackness of space. Each burn brings it closer to its celestial destination, the International Space Station. Finally, after a breathtaking 38-hour voyage, Saturday, March 23rd dawns. As the sun paints the Earth with vibrant hues, C-209 approaches the ISS. With incredible precision, the spacecraft aligns itself perfectly, its robotic arm reaching out to grasp the station's docking port. A collective sigh of relief washes over mission control as the two giants of space technology connect with a gentle click. The arrival of C-209 signifies a new chapter for the crew aboard the ISS. Astronauts eagerly get to work, carefully extracting the precious cargo, cutting-edge experiments that could revolutionize life on Earth, vital supplies to keep them healthy and comfortable, and maybe even a care package from loved ones back home. Who wouldn't love a surprise in space? The CRS-30 mission is a testament to human ingenuity and our unwavering desire to push the boundaries of exploration. It's a story of tireless work, cutting-edge technology, and the unwavering spirit of scientific discovery. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep watching this amazing journey for your enjoyment. The video has been edited showing you key factors. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe and God bless.
There is the start of the Stage 1 entry burn, and this is a 3-engine burn on the first stage of Falcon 9. There you
Stage
saw
1 FTS has safed.
really cool views of the end of the first stage entry burn and
Both
the flight
stages nominal trajectory.
and the call-outs for nominal trajectory and the flight termination system being safed. Now, the first stage that is supporting today's mission has just performed this entry burn for the 6th time. Falcon 9 is the world's first orbital-class reusable rocket, and this allows SpaceX to refly the most expensive parts of the rocket, which in turn drives
Stage 1 transonic.
down the cost of access to space. Now, coming up, we have that landing burn starting in just a few moments. There's the start
Stage 1 landing burn.
of that landing burn. Really cool view of Cape Canaveral coast.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Wow, wonderful views of that first stage
Stage
landing.
1 landing confirmed.
Back at landing zone 1, looking pristine there, and there you have
Federal
it.
guidance.
That landing marks SpaceX's 286th recovery of an orbital-class rocket, including the first stage landings for Falcon
Stage
9
2 FTS has safed.
and Heavy. You heard that call out that Stage 2 FTS is safe, getting ready for second engine cutoff here in just under 10 seconds.
MVAC shutdown.
There is that second engine cutoff with the MVAC shutdown call out, waiting for confirmation of a good orbital
Nominal
insertion.
orbit insertion.
There is that confirmation of good orbit. It looks like we are on track for Dragon separation in just a few minutes, just before the T plus 12-minute mark. It has been a great launch so far. As I mentioned earlier, today's launch was the first for our upgraded Dragon to be flying from Slick 40 after we stopped flying the older version of Dragon back in 2020. And to support our growing launch manifest, we've made new upgrades to Space Launch Complex 40, including a brand new tower and access arm, which enables more efficient late load operations as well as human spaceflight missions. Now, with these updates, we are on our way to having 2 launch pads capable of supporting flying humans to space. You can see really cool views of the MVAC engine and the Earth in the background from the second stage. And in addition to flying cargo to support crew on board the space station, SpaceX also enables researchers the opportunity to fly critical science to orbit on Dragon, which has carried over 1,000 research experiments to and from low Earth orbit and the International Space Station since 2012. Enabling research in space paves the way for us to explore beyond Earth and make life multiplanetary. And now we are waiting for Dragon to separate from Falcon 9's second stage. To recap so far, we had an on-time liftoff at 4:55 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything has proceeded nominally so far. Stage separation occurred at about 2.5 minutes into flight, and that was followed by a successful landing of Falcon 9's first stage at Landing Zone 1 back in Cape Canaveral, Florida. That was the 6th landing for that particular Falcon 9 first stage. And for those of you following along, this Dragon capsule has also supported CRS-22, CRS-24, and CRS-27, which were 3 additional. You can see Dragon floating away there. Very exciting to see. Dragon is drifting away from Falcon 9 second stage there, confirming good spacecraft separation. Now, SpaceX is honored to be a part of NASA's Commercial Resupply Services Initiative to deliver critical cargo to the space station, and we thank NASA for entrusting us with today's mission. For those of you following along, you'll know that this mission marks our 27th of the year. Congratulations to the SpaceX team. We're just in March, and we're already launched in partnership with NASA missions like Axiom 3, Cygnus, and PACE, Intuitive Machines, Crew 8, and more. You can check spacex.com/launches for up-to-date missions and schedules. But that will do it for me here in Hawthorne. But I'm handing it over to Gary to take us through Dragon nose cone opening. Gary?
Hey, thank you, Yome. We were following along from here in Mission Control Houston, a wonderful launch of Dragon from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Great to see Dragon in orbit and starting its journey on the way to the International Space Station. We're continuing our coverage here in Mission Control Houston, awaiting for the nose cone to deploy. The nose cone is at the very tip of the Dragon spacecraft. Once deployed, exposes the 4 forward bulkhead Dracos. These Draco thrusters will execute the series of maneuvers necessary to raise its orbit and meet up with the destination of Dragon's launch today, the International Space Station. Of course, after separation, it is carrying 3 tons of supplies, including science, as well as some food to the International Space Station. A common question we get is what sorts of treats and food are inside Dragon that the Expedition 70 crew aboard station is awaiting. We did receive word that there is a fresh food kit, including some fruits and vegetables like citrus, apples, and cherry tomatoes inside Dragon right now. There's also 2 crew-requested coffee kits and 60, that's 60, bulk overwrap bags. These are standard bobs containing some standard food menu items as well as some crew preference choices. There are 5 major burns where the Draco thrusters on Dragon will fire and bring the spacecraft close to the station before we begin the final approach maneuvers. Let's go ahead and review that now. First is the first major burn, the phase burn. This is performed at the first apogee, or the highest point of the initial orbit, and raises Dragon's perigee, or the lowest point, to a higher altitude. The next burn, which based on the orbital data that we're seeing, is the boost burn, which raises Dragon's orbit until it reaches an altitude just about 10 kilometers lower than the space station. This is followed soon after by the close co-elliptic burn to place Dragon on an orbit that's roughly co-elliptic with the space station. It means the crew, or the Dragon itself, will be about 10 kilometers lower than the station during the entire orbit around the Earth. The fourth maneuver is the transfer burn, where we're raising Dragon's apogee, or the highest point of its orbit, to just 2.5 kilometers below the station. Then we round everything out with what's called a final co-elliptic burn to once again maintain that orbit just beneath the station, but this time on a plane that is 2.5 kilometers below. We did get word that the nose cone is starting to deploy. This sequence takes just a couple of minutes until it's fully open, and again exposing the forward bulkhead Dracos that will execute the maneuvers you see here on your screen. The final co-elliptic burn you see there on the screen will lead us to the approach initiation. This is the final stages of Dragon's rendezvous with the space station and beginning integrated operations with the team here in Mission Control Houston and the teams over in Hawthorne, California. During the approach, the SpaceX flight controllers will work in tandem with the teams here to to test out a number of systems and test communications between the spacecraft and the station with a system called C2V2, which stands for Common Communication for Visiting Vehicles.